guys, welcome back. Konnichiwa, herzlich willkommen. So guys, I want to give you here a chart analyze on Novo Nordisk. The ticker is NVO. We had here a massive price drop on Friday here from minus 17%. This ticker is of course in a super strong uptrend here, but now we have a strong pullback, and when we see the loss here which we had right now is about minus 45% from the peak to the actual price. And I give you now here my full chart analysis, and yeah, this is the first time that I make a chart review on this ticker, but I saw here some technical details and I think it is absolute worth it here to talk about this stock. Everything what I say here is of course not financial advice. The main purpose is to educate you in trading. That's why we will dive in here to the chart techniques for NVO. So guys, yeah, actual price $85. We had even here a little bit more downside in the pre and after market. So very predictable, guys, to be honest, this price action here. I want to show you something here what is very easy to see. When we see this kind of uptrend which we had here from NVO, then I also see the same like from many other stocks. Here was something like a shakeout in March 2020. Everybody remembers what was here, guys, what has been here, the corona pandemic. And then you can see that this stock started to rip. And the only time when the stock started here to accumulate a little bit, that was here in December 2021. Most of the stocks started to tank down since December 2021 or even November, but NVO continued to rip here after accumulation, and yeah, even had a bigger squeeze here to the upside, not a short squeeze but a bigger squeeze. So what I want to show you here, what is really when I checked here the chart for the first time, then of course I always try to search trend channel patterns here, and I found also one trend channel pattern here for NVO. But the interesting part is here that when you measure this kind of move, when we see the price action here from the corona shakeout until this kind of accumulation phase here, that was about 137%. And when I now do a inverted Fibonacci retracement, because I try to calculate now what is the highest possible price based on Fibonacci, then I will just measure here this peak, and then of course I go down to the shakeout which we had during the pandemic, and then you will see, guys, that the top price is exactly where we had now here our big sell-off reaction for NVO. So for that I will zoom out. And if you understand how Fibonacci works, guys, you have here different levels, the 1618, 2618, and the most strongest one in favor for calculated, let's call it a squeeze or price run-ups, is the 3618. And you can see we hit this price level on the dot, and now have our sell-off reaction. And the trend channel pattern which I drew is quite visible also here. So that started already here in 2017. And that means when we come back in this trend channel pattern, then this top line here is usually a resistance, and the bottom line here is a support. That may not be so visible for you right now because I use here now a weekly chart, but we can see that after the sell-off reaction here, which we had exactly on the 3618 level here, that's why I say everything what you see here is based on algos, guys, and you can calculate price levels to the up and the downside. And what we can see right now here, based on this trend channel pattern, I also see that we have here something like a support in the $76-78 range, guys, for NVO. So of course I explained that in detail, but why is this so predictable? I have here a mission on my channel. I try to predict short squeezes every week. So today I also released my brand new hot stock video. If you also like to play a little bit or trade a little bit short squeeze stocks, I always release here every Sunday my finest selection of short squeeze stocks. So the brand new video is out right now, guys. You can see here some of the member benefits, and when the member feedback, and when I release those videos, that means that I expect those tickers here to squeeze in the very few next days. If you're new, guys, and you don't know my channel, I show you here something what happened just this week after my predictions here. We had here just this week 4 squeezes. I have the Patreon swing trade alerts where we had a 250% squeeze in one day, 480% squeeze in one day, here 107% and also 169%. So I try to predict short squeezes here, and as I said, therefore I release here my hot stock videos and swing trade alerts on Patreon. So I will of course continue here to talk about NVO, but if you also want to see the short squeeze stocks here, the hot stocks and the other content here, then you can join in our trading community. The most popular membership which I have is the full package membership here on Patreon. You can see all the member benefits here, guys, and everyday new members joining in. And if you also want to learn trading and want to see these hot stocks here, then you can of course click here the info icon in the corner and you get access to the Patreon member link. So guys, the game plan for NVO, I think really worth it to buy. Yeah, this is not financial advice, but as I said, when you understand trading, this is very predictable here that we have a sell-off reaction incoming, but in the overall picture, we are here in a very strong uptrend. In my opinion, there are just two possible price levels to the downside. Now I will also enable here the indicators. And this is also not a coincidence. The last time that we hit here this black line in the chart here, this line here, guys, this black line is the moving averages of 200 days in the weekly chart. And the last time then we had this kind of shakeout for NVO was in March 2020 during the pandemic. And guess what? We never tested this black line here since. So we will switch off the drawings for a second that you can just focus on that. And now for the first time we are retesting this price level. So as I said, the price has been a little bit lower in the pre and after market. So when we switch here to the 4 hours chart, you can see that the shakeout went until $73.76. And why is that? Because we had two significant gaps here in the chart. These orange fields here are open gaps in the chart, and usually the chance that we fill those open gaps is about 90%. Of course, when you have a stock like that, which is in a super strong uptrend here, that can take years. That can even take 20 years until you close these open gaps. But you can see that the purpose of this move here, of this price drop, was to close these two gaps. And immediately after we closed the gaps here, you can see when we closed this open gap at $74 and this open gap at $79, we had immediately an algo reaction. The algo spotted this dip, and you can see NVO squeezed here or ripped in one day 17%. So this is very, very huge for a stock with $360 billion market capital. So is this the bottom, guys? So I will show you now what I think where the bottom is. The good news is, before we continue, that this ticker will come back here to $140 or even higher. I have no idea what the news are saying, what is the reason for that, and I honestly don't care. I just need to see the chart, and this is everything what I need to know. That's why please make your own due diligence. This is not financial advice, but I just see what I want to see here, and I know that sooner or later NVO will come back to $140 and even higher. You can also see my Tesla videos and everything else, guys. It is for every stock the same. So let's enable the drawing. So what do I expect? So I just have the indicators. So I expect that we find support here at $78.87. So in best case, we see here a daily candle coming back to 78.87 or even a little bit lower, 75.81, guys. This liquidity zone here is, in my opinion, the support. If we should continue to tank down, if we really leave this trend channel pattern here, as I said before, this uptrend channel pattern here is a very strong support. So this channel here, if we leave this channel to the downside with a gap down, you can see that the price also gapped down here. So the price was trading at $102, and then we had this massive gap down, which got bought up here by the bottom of the trend channel in the 4 hours chart. If we continue to drop down, then in my opinion, this is now the worst case scenario for NVO, but of course for everybody who is not invested yet, a perfect dip. I think here this yellow box, guys, $58 to $47 is the final landing zone before we see a squeeze or something like a bull run here, and then of course new all-time highs. But in my opinion, this is now here the first liquidity zone. When you have price actions like that, I will switch now one more time to the weekly chart here. The problem is with these kind of, it looks almost like a squeeze. This price action here, this leg up here has no retracement. That means between $137 and $99, there is almost no support. There is no liquidity zone where we can say the bulls and bears are accumulating their positions. You can see they tried already to dump the price here. The dip got bought up, and now we have the sell-off reaction. That means the bottom line of this trend channel is also not a super strong support. It's supported here, and then we broke below that, and as soon as we hit over this trend channel, we had a squeeze. That's why I think it is possible, guys, that we fall lower than $75, that we really come back down in this accumulation zone, because this was the only time where the stock really accumulated here from, you can see, August 2021 to October 2022. So 1 year we had here an accumulation, and then finally NVO decided here to break out to the upside, and everything here in between. Even we have, of course, small pullbacks. There are no real accumulation zones, and that means that usually the stock has to come down to retest if the bulls are still waiting here before we see a continuation of a squeeze. So that's why I said, in my opinion, there is a good chance that here between $78 and $75, the bottom is already in for this ticker here, and that we just continue to go higher. But in worst case, if we drop down, I think we have to prepare here for more downside. But this is a very, very comfortable dip, because all the open gaps which we have now to the upside, it is the same story here, guys. When you have open gaps to the upside, I show you that one more time here, and we switch off the drawings. So every orange field what you see here is an open gap to the downside, and every green field is an open gap to the upside, which means based on the actual price here, $85, there is at least a 65% gain possible here for NVO. But I think we will, of course, continue to build new all-time highs in future for the stock. Not financial advice. Yeah, guys, that was my quick chart analysis here for NVO. I hope you liked it here. If you want to copy the price levels here from my chart, everything what you see here is based on TradingView. This is the chart program what I use for all my trades and for all my videos. If you also want to get that program, I can give you here a $15 discount link on the premium tier. If you use my discount link, then you save here $15, and when you click here the info icon in the corner, you get access to my TradingView discount link. So my friends, that was my update. Don't forget to check out here our brand new hot stock video available today, and I wish you a great weekend, great success with all your trades. Thank you for your time, and if you don't want to miss any updates here, please hit the like and subscribe button right now. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your day and see you in the next video. Arigatou gozaimasu, vielen Dank, alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.